I know it's gonna be really hard to ignore this, but let's get into the current giveaway. Took me a little time. We were doing a lot of stuff with TJ's car, and I am sorry, but we're back into the giveaway mix, and I've got a banger for you. HKS released their 50th anniversary stuff, I guess you'd say, and in that is a couple of gnarly items that I'm about to give to you guys. First thing, the Bride HKS, a Brid HKS Tune the Next 50th anniversary ZEG 4 XL, one seat with the HKS colors stitching. We've got some carbon here, real carbon here, but the back is not carbon. They were not offered carbon. However, this seat's gangster, discontinued. This is part of the giveaway. Moving along, we have the HKS No Power No Life box with a pair of HKS mechanics gloves, HKS towel, HKS S15 Hot Wheels, HKS van, HKS exhaust towel, another one. The 50th anniversary tow loop. This is red. This was the only one I can get. Comes with the HKS badge. These are discontinued. The HKS 50th anniversary watch. Banger watch. I love that watch. Discontinued. The HKS Nardi steering wheel with the black surround, not that new chrome polish surround. This is discontinued. Comes with the 50th badge. HKS mug, tumbler, discontinued HKS lighter, oil slick lighter. HKS carabiner, HKS exhaust crate, which I like this gray one. HKS carbon ballpoint pen, HKS keychain, HKS key tag, the horn button and box for the wheel, the HKS tone, the HKS tone 10mm keychain, HKS sticker, HKS like clipboard, another HKS towel, and the HKS oil slick umbrella. This is about a $5,000 pack, and we're giving it away. Every dollar is an entry. We have just entry tickets. You don't have to buy merch. You just buy as many entry tickets as you want to up your chances. VIPs, you know what you get. Multipliers all there. And this is it. This is the pack. The next giveaway is a car, but we had to give away something like this because I got a bunch of the 50th stuff. I jumped in early, and I always had the idea of giving this away, and these just came in. That's why this giveaway took so long. Seat just came in. The steering wheel we've had a little while, but the seat I think is the most important part, so I had to wait. It's a banger seat. I love the ZEG 4. I love the big openings. This seat is sick. So if you want to get entered for your chance to win this pack, tommyfyeah.com. Link is in the description. Don't sleep. Once again, seat, 2 bins, bunch of tchotchkes, plus the HKS oil slick discontinued lighter, 50th anniversary steering wheel, 50th anniversary tow loop, 50th anniversary watch, etc., etc., etc. This is a killer pack. And if I get more stuff that I can add to this, I will throughout the giveaway. Don't know how long we're running this as of today because I'm just filming this promo, but it'll all be on the website. Now let's get on to the most insane video, insane by rarity, not by lighting a Ferrari on fire in a cornfield, that I'll probably ever do. Let's go. Boys, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. And like you just saw, if you haven't entered for your chance to win the HKS Gangster 50th Anniversary Kit Pack, fucking fun time, you're sleeping. But what is behind the camera right now is, I never thought I'd see one in my shop. I mean, it's kind of rare to see one, period. I believe it's the only one in the United States, and it's just fucking surreal. So what we have, what you can tell by the thumbnail and the title, because I'm not playing around, is just the epitome. We had the 270R. I owned that. That was gnarly. That was cool. But it just doesn't hit like this. So here you have the Nismo 400R R33 GTR in KR4. This is the sickest thing so far that has come through the doors of the shop. And when you hear what we're gonna do to this car and what has already been done in this car, you're gonna lose your fucking minds. This is surreal. You just watched my first look at this car. As I walked through the door, it's the first time I've seen the car. I didn't turn the lights on, but I walked past it and I kind of ignored it. Anyway, so 400R, not supposed to have the xenons, has the xenons, which is great. It's not that it's not supposed to, it just didn't originally come with xenons. It has them. You'll notice the hood, we got one of those. You'll notice the bumper, we got one of those. It's got the hood lip, got one of those. I don't love the lip, but on the 400R, it just that's how it is. Notice the flares. I don't have those. I'm not really interested in those. I think they look cool on the 400R, but my car is not a 400R, so adding them is not as necessary as having them on an original 400R. You got the skirts. You got the iconic 400R decal, the LMGT ones, the dual carbon wing blade. It's actually in kind of rough shape. We should probably replace this. It's old. You can see the color difference here to here. The texture, this probably should be replaced. I don't know anything about these taillight covers. They say Nissan Motorsports International. They look completely OEM, as does this. Oh, there, it's a sticker. Is it a sticker? It's an overlay of some kind. I don't know anything about that. I'll be honest. I'll show my ignorance there. Never come across those. If they're specific to the 400R, I don't really think I've ever seen them on another 400R, but they look factory, which is just blowing my mind. Anyway, you got the 400R badge. Dude's got the plate cover, 400R titanium Fujitsu exhaust. This thing is just fucking gnarly. And if you know, you know, I've seen this car already. This car was at ours day that Top Rank throws in California. I got to see it, got to be close to it. Didn't really get to inspect it too much, but I get to do that now because it's here. So I haven't opened the hood. I'm gonna tell you right now, this car looks super low. It's on bags. This car is on air ride now, and I'll tell you the reason. The reason this car is on air ride is because the owner was sick of scraping his front lip. If you look at the overhang, I would say the best overhang cars are E46s and BMWs in general. The bumper would basically like be here, so there's not a ton of overhang. With this car, you got about 3 feet before you hit an incline. So if there's a hill, you've got to go 3 feet into that hill before the wheels start catching, and it rubs. It touches. It's kind of annoying. He didn't want to do it. He's not time attacking the car. Once again, I don't agree with it, but I agree with his reasoning. I wouldn't do it to my car, but I don't even have any shit to talk. If you put bags on a 400R, you're nuts. You're a little bit nuts. But it's reversible. Nothing's ruined. So we'll leave it at that. We've got the 400R hood. I get to see it painted. Mine will be done soon. Look at that carbon through the little vent there. And now, let's pop the hood. We're going to go through this whole car. But let's pop the hood. Show the things I like, I dislike. I love the xenons. I love the modifications to the car, minus the bags. I don't really care. But I just can't admit ever that I like the bags. All right, let's pop the hood. All right, under the hood, we've got the Built by Legends carbon prop rod. I have one for my 33. Looks like a Garage Defend cooling panel with a Nismo sticker and a Built by Legends sticker. This is the original Nismo inner radiator. See it right there? You can't get these. I don't know if you've ever been able to get these, but I know you cannot get them now. Nismo Plenum. Trying to see what kind of piping this is. Got some piping. These are M's. So M's made these. These are specific filters for this. You can see the little Nismo. We have tons of these, none with the Nismo badge. That notates that's from a 400R. $20,000 strut tower bar. Titanium. Mid-old script logo. That's a weird logo. It was very short-lived. One of the only parts that came on, especially for Skylines, is that exact strut bar. Looks like we have a strange oil cooler block situation here that we won't know about until we take this apart. Old reservoirs, boost controller. Look at this, Nismo Brakemaster cylinder stopper. Super cool. Factory on this car, obviously. What else? We got to get rid of these. Sorry, Andrew. I don't know if you love these. They got to go. We cannot have those. But we will give you pretty new hardware that you'll like more than this. Nismo front mount intercooler. It's a 110 millimeter intercooler. That's the thickness of the core. They made two. They've got a 70 and 110 with the old logo. 110's 400R specific. 70 is a catalog item. It's made by ARC, and it's a beefy boy. Look at this badge. Nissan Motorsports International, 400R, 1996, number 29. Looks like that's touching low. Believe that's chassis number 29. Super cool. Got an alarm tucked down there, it looks like. We're gonna make this thing fucking gangster. And here's the holy grail, the RBX GT2. This is a 2.8 liter engine built by Renick. I don't really understand the situation there, but that's who built it. Well, let's look at the interior. Ooh, that opens nice. I don't know much about this. I don't know if that's factory. It looks really good, but I would assume these are factory 400R door panels. I didn't know there was ever a difference, but now that I see it, it makes sense. The seats are different. It'd be weird if it had the blue perforation or the red perforation, so it must just be a nice padded suede-esque insert. Never seen it before. We've got the Nismo old logo seats in pretty immaculate condition. 400R wheel, horn button, proprietary to the 400R, fucking gnarly. You can see we did some Mines e-brake, e-brake handle, Mines shift boot, e-brake boot, and armrest. Got the 400R rear seats. So these are actually R32 seats with 33 setup, but they're 32 shaped, old logo, red stitching. Kind of like 32 fabric. It's hard to explain that if you don't know, but let's get in this thing. This is crazy. Here we go. Okay. We've got the titanium 400R shift knob. Nismo old logo kill switch lighter. There's your airlift. Nismo old logo triple meters. 400R specific cluster. So there should be only 44 of these in existence. Just this 400R here. It's kind of the whole interior. We got pedal covers? No. This car is insanely clean. It's in really, really good shape. I'm looking for more 400R specific items, and I don't really see any. I don't really know. I know this is 400R specific. Usually it says GTR right here. Just a little coin holder, like block off. The shift knob. This thing is rad. This steering wheel is so good. All right, let's get out and talk about the insane plans for this car. You guys are gonna lose your minds. Okay. Are you ready for what you're about to hear? So this car being as special as it is, spoke with Andrew, the owner, and he was like, hey, you know, the engine in the car, the top end's slightly noisy. You know, he was just running down the car, his likes, dislikes, etc., etc. And I said, dude, I'll be honest with you. You bagged your car. You put a bunch of sound deadening in your car for the radio. You've done a bunch of stuff. You've modified the car, so you clearly don't care about originality. I said, I own every single part. I have owned every single part this car has, or I can get it, because I forgot about the strut bar. I've never spent 20 grand on a strut bar. But I own the bumper. I can get the lip still. I own the hood. I don't own the front flares. Those are kind of difficult. Skirts, dual carbon wing blade. I owned the seats, etc., etc., etc. I said, but the one thing you can never get is that RBX. This bad boy. You can't get it. Never seen one for sale. There should be 40 in existence, 40 to 44 in existence. Let's say a couple slip past. Say there's 50. Doesn't matter. The only thing you can't get is the engine. So the only thing you really don't want to fuck up is that engine. He said the top end was a little noisy, and we're not going to build the original RBX. So I said, let's crate motor it. Let's do all the mods you want. We'll keep all your original parts. We'll pretty them up. We'll restore them. We'll put it on a stand. Andrew loved the idea, and that's how we ended up with the HKS high response crate motor. So this will be going into this with a couple of little additions. I'll show you one of them right now. This is a brand new R34 GetDrag 6-speed. Attached to this, you'll see the R34 front subframe, which I had to tell you that unless you were insane at spotting things. That's an R34 front subframe, powder coated. We've got a brand new R34 steering rack. So we have subframe, steering rack. We're gonna do some R34 suspension stuff. R34 6-speed, HKS 2.8. We're gonna do some big twins that you'll see later. We're gonna do another Nismo plenum. We will do a new Nismo radiator, which kind of hurts me, but we have to do the modification of the radiator, and I'm not doing it to this one. And I think it'll be perfectly fine to remove this and put a new logo Nismo in that we modify because they're not rare. That one is. Aim for about 700 horsepower. He wants like closer to 8. If he does 8, we're gonna have to do some big twins because we are keeping it twins. Reason we're keeping it twins is to run the Nismo catalog. Nismo intercooler piping, hopefully Nismo carbon airbox, etc., etc., etc. So this car is going to be completely built with all the original parts stored away or refurbished and put on a stand. The shock value of what we're about to do is through the roof. One thing I have to say before I continue this video, I want to thank Andrew so much for giving us the opportunity to build arguably one of the rarest Skylines. I'm not going to say Nissans, it is one of the rarest Nissans, but just Skylines. We have a ton of Skylines here, as you'll see. 33, 32, 33, 32, 32, 32, 32, 33. We have a ton, but this thing is fucking insane. And it's so rare, and to modify and to do what we're doing, it's such an honor. So thank you, Andrew, for giving us the opportunity to do that. Thank you for giving the opportunity to touch and pick apart and feel and take apart such an iconic car. And it reinvigorates me and my R33 build to see this, to see TJ's R34 get done. It just remotivates me to get my Skylines back on the road. I didn't lose interest. I kind of just got a little tired, and this is waking me up. I'm super stoked. So first order of business, we're not painting this bay. I don't believe it needs it. We're going to be so careful taking it apart, but the bay is pretty gorgeous. You know, no scratching in the area, as you can see, and I just think it'd be a shame to paint it. I mean, it'd be sick to paint it, but it would lose its originality. It would scare future buyers, etc., etc., etc. So I think it's fine. You don't really even see much. You see from here to here, the fender lip, strut tower, a little bit of the firewall, same thing over here. So I don't think the cost loss versus looks gained calculations are there. So we're not going to paint it. We're going to change all that fucking titanium hardware though, Andrew. We're going to put it back to stock, zinced, beautiful OEM hardware. And we've already started with this, so I'm going to get into that now just to show you the parts, show you what we were doing. So let's just do that now, and then we'll come back. Let's get into exactly what we'll be doing to the car. And it's kind of crazy, but just so everyone's aware, I'm not the first person to fuck with this car. This car has had a radio installed, all sound deadening material installed underneath. The entire interior is out, and it's on air ride. DJ spec. But, you know, back in the day, I would probably be angry that it's on air ride. Now, as an adult and understanding why, it's not my car. I don't give a fuck. But the reason it's on air ride is not for looks. It's because he was sick of scraping the lip. And with these 33s, it hangs over so far that, like, that much hangover, you would need, if the hill starts here, you're hitting that lip. So for his situation, it works. I would never do it. I would definitely normally talk shit, especially if someone who was like building the car to do things other than cruise around. But as I get older, I don't care what people do to their cars. I kind of think it's a little bit of a flex. So going with the flex, we have what's in front of me right now, and we'll get into exactly what we'll be doing. The most blasphemous thing we'll be doing is putting an HKS crate motor in it. We've got number 33 going in an R33 400R. I think that's cool. We ended up swapping a couple around. I sold my 32 engine, exchanged a bunch of things around, and we're ending up putting the Big Daddy in the 400R. So that's all situated. We've got the HKS coil kit, R35 coil kit, HKS trigger kit, and the HKS pulley kit going on this. So super cool. This is where it gets wild. We are converting the car to a R34 underneath. So this is a R34 subframe, R34 brand new steering rack, and all the associated stuff that goes with this. The reason these are out is because this will be bolted onto the engine after the oil pan goes on. But brand new 34 rack, powder coated subframe, powder coated rack bracket, ITBs, Nismo oil pan baffle kit. I don't care so much, but these are so cheap, I'll probably be putting them in almost every car. They just make sense. We will have all new oil pan seals, sticking with the 411 ring and pinion, and we have the Tarks oil filter block adapter. So that goes on here and allows us to run our oil filter relocation kit. So, car's going to get an R34 6-speed, which he has. Car's going to get some bigger turbos, I won't talk about too much, and a bunch of Nismo optional parts to keep the vibe alive. We'll also be taking the engine out of the car, freshening it up, and putting it on a stand for him to just enjoy in his garage. So let's get to installing all this shit and make some progress. Okay, step 2. Here we are. Oil pan's completely set up with the front diff. We've got the Nismo baffle in place. It's not that much crazier than stock, but I guess it's better than nothing. I don't really know. The Tarks oil filter adapters on the block. A bunch of other little things, but we're getting there. Engine mount arms. So the first step is going to be get this pan ready, clean out a little bit more in there, seal it, throw it on, subframe, steering rack, ITBs. Then this thing can go away, get pushed away, get all the big stuff off the ground. Yesterday, the pan got built, diff is in, Nismo baffle is in. Like I said yesterday, not that necessary, but while we're in there, who gives a shit? They're cheap enough. All the hardware has been sourced for the pan. Motor mount arms, motor mounts have been put on, and the Tarks oil filter adapter block has been put on. The reason I'm using this over the Triple S in some cases is it has 4 ports, oil pressure, oil temp, and then 2 more here. These are really good for VCAM situations. You need oil, so the VCAM one can go to this, and then we'd have a spare oil pressure that can go to the ECU, because the ones on this, the 2 dedicated ones, go to the factory sensor and the gauge cluster. So you put a third one to go to the Haltech, and then that can tell you, if for some reason oil pressure drops, the Haltech can turn the car off, put it in lit mode, not let you hit boot, whatever the fuck you want it to do. So that's why I would change that up occasionally and use the Tarks one, is for the extra holes. The biggest one being the one for the VCAM. Okay, so as you just saw, 34 subframe, steering rack, Vapor blasted motor mount arms, brand new R34 engine mounts. We've got all of the accessories bolted to the engine. We've had them. The pulley kit, the trigger kit, the coil kit. The remade in USA ITBs are on the car. Not sure if we're going to be running. We're not going to run this fuel rail. This is kind of a placeholder. It's actually a 32 one. If you know, you know. But We may be getting the new logo Nismo one. It's a lot of money, and we can't use any other part of the kit, but I think it goes with the build. I don't think it'd be wasted money. Nismo Plenum, and then we have to figure these out. We have N1 manifolds, jet hot coated. Shout out Jet Hot Coat. I wonder if Jet Hot Coat ever thought their product would be on a Nismo 400R. I mean, I doubt it, since they started off with like muscle cars and stuff, but still pretty gnarly. Shout out Jet Hot Coat. We'll do the HKS turbos, HKS turbo outlets. We'll check the front pipe on this. I have an old logo front pipe. We can get Jet Hot coated minus the badge if he wants to go that. If he wants to get a little more oomph out of it, we'll change that. But we're not going to change the exhaust. We're going to do a triple disc clutch, R34 Getrag 6-speed, factory drive shaft, etc., etc. And we'll probably do something a little spicy with this. I don't love this situation. We don't know if we're keeping these colors. We do have to add baffles, so this isn't its final step, but we're gonna try to do 34 knuckles, 34 uprights. Just want this car to be an R34 GTR underneath. And I think that's doing it justice, being a 400R, modernizing it within the OEM realm. I don't think any of what we're gonna do is gonna take away from the value. Not that I know it won't. And I do know it's all completely reversible, more reversible than the mods that are already done to the car. So I'm not worried. Andrew's not worried. I don't think he has any intention of selling this car. Anyway, with that being said, we're going to have a huge build series on this. I'm going to post most of it on the Patreon. You guys will see the build, though. If you're not a patron, you will see the build. But the technical, the nitty-gritty, the long, drawn-out talking videos, will be on the Patreon. This might be a 1, 2, 3, or 4 video series with not too much filler bullshit. And I don't want to call it filler like trying to fill time. I want to call it filler like technical little things that most people don't care about. So with all that being said, thanks for watching. Andrew, thanks for giving us the opportunity to do this. And we really have to move because you know it, winter's coming. Gotta watch that winter. So we'll see you boys next time. Get excited. The engine's coming out of this thing. The front end's coming off this car. I'm gonna be a nervous wreck for the next 2 to 3 months while this is going down, but it'll all be worth it. So any questions, comments, concerns, put them in the comments. I will respond to everyone. And if you haven't entered for your chance to win that HKS 50th anniversary pack, almost all of the items in it are discontinued. Don't sleep. There's gonna be some value there. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.